welcome to my, Ms. Marsingill's 6th grade math class. So today this lesson plan involves applying the 4 fundamental operations of arithmetic to fractional expressions. We will begin with a short PowerPoint presentation lecture, and I will demonstrate some word problems involving addition and subtraction of fractional expressions, and you will participate in a poll to apply your understanding of the lesson. So this lesson plan covers State Curriculum Standard 2.1, or part of it. The next class we'll go over multiplication and division of fractions, positive fractions. So the students who have difficulty with the content of this lesson can sign up for the ACE lab, or they can schedule an appointment with me to individually tutor them on Tuesdays and Thursdays after school. If they need help during class, I can work with them individually during the hour of class that is dedicated to solving textbook problems. The students who are advanced learners have the option of attending my advanced math lab, which is every Friday after school. Students who attend the advanced math lab have the option of engaging in lectures over material that is covered the following week and completing homework in a self-paced manner. So materials you will need for this lesson are a pencil, a piece of paper, and you're going to need a cell phone or access to polleverywhere.com to participate in the poll, and I'm going to need your undivided attention. So after my demonstration, oh yeah, you won't participate in the poll, I covered that. So let's get started with the lecture part. So what is a fraction? Well, it is a mathematical expression that describes a whole quantity and the relevant parts of the entire quantity. It can also be known as a mathematical expression that represents a portion of a whole. So examples of fractions. So 3 over 4 is the same as 3 out of 4. And 1 over 2 is a fractional expression that is the same as the word expression 1 out of 2. So if you're going to solve an arithmetic problem using fractions, there are 3 things you should know. Does anybody know what one of those 3 things are? Yeah, I know it's something that you usually wouldn't know off the top of your head. Well, you need to know how to identify the numerator, how to identify the denominator, and you also need to know if the fraction can be reduced to a lower term. So let's start with the denominator. The denominator is defined as the bottom number of the fraction, or the part of the fraction that represents the entire quantity. So of the fraction 4 over 5, 5 is the denominator. And if I had a pie with 5 pieces, 5 would represent the entire quantity of the pie. So the numerator. The numerator is defined as the top number of the fraction. It's the part of the fraction that represents a specific portion of the entire amount. So 4 is the numerator of 4 out of 5. And if I eat 4 pieces of a 5-piece pie, 4 would represent the portion that I've eaten. So addition and subtraction of positive fractions. You need to find the LCM between the 2 denominators of the fractions that are being added to each other or subtracted from each other. Many of you are probably wondering why the fractions are being added or why they would need a common denominator. And the reason is they have to have common units in order to be added or subtracted. So you will have to make sure that they have common units by making the denominators equal. So when adding 2 fractions, you add the numerators together and insert the sum above the LCM of both denominators. When subtracting 2 fractions, you subtract the second fraction from the first and insert the difference above the LCM of both denominators. So the way you find the LCM is you find a least common denominator of 2 fractions. So let me check this. If Sally eats 1 out of 8 slices of pie, and Melina eats 4 out of 5 slices of pie, does anyone know what the common denominator of 8 and 5 is?
35.
40. 40. Correct. It is 40. So we multiply 8 by 5 in order to make it 40. And And you'd also multiply 1 by 5 in order to make it 40. Same as 5, except you would multiply it by 8 and 4 by 8. So the sum of 1/8 plus 4/5 is it would be 37 over 40. Now obviously both pizzas that they eat don't originally have 40 slices, but if you combine both pizzas and equalize all the parts, it would have to be 40 slices for both of them in order to know how much they have consumed. So 37 represents how much both girls have consumed, and 40 represents the entire quantity of the pizza. So let's take that 37 out of 40. So 37 out of 40 minus 40, or 40 out of 40 minus 37 out of 40 would indicate how much pizza is left, because 40 is the equalized portion of both amounts that they've consumed, and 37 is what they've actually consumed. So if you minus 40 from 37, the amount of pizza that would be left would be 3 out of 40. And is this fraction in lowest terms? Does anyone know?
Yeah.
Very good, it is in lowest terms. Okay, so I know it's kind of hard to grasp the concept of adding and subtracting fractions with just word problems, so I thought I would show you guys with candy parts as well. So let's say that I took one portion of the 4 Kit Kats. And let me move up here so you guys can better see it. So one portion of the 4 Kit Kats this is so messy, I do apologize, you guys. Okay, good enough. Okay, so as you can see, there are 8 pieces of Rolos and 4 Kit Kats. So let's say I was to add 3 of these Rolos to a 4th. The way I would write it would be to represent the Kit Kats, plus 3/8 to represent the Rolos. So does anyone know what I have to do next?
Common denominator.
Yes, we need to find the common denominator. So the common denominator between 4 and 8 is 8. So I would multiply 4 by 2 and 1 by 2. So that would make it 2 8s plus 3 8s. I need to do the same thing to my candy too. So since the numerator is now 2, we have 2 parts as the numerator. Okay, so the sum of 2 8s plus 3 8s is, voila, 5 8s. So as you can see, there are 5 parts on the top, 1 2 3 4 5, and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 on the bottom. So that's a more concrete way to describe how to use fractions, and I really hope that this presentation has helped you guys understand how to add and subtract fractions. And so we could apply this knowledge to a concrete situation. I would like everyone to participate in a poll. So how many people in here have cell phones? Almost everyone? Okay, perfect.
All us 6th graders.
So with your cell phones, I'm going to pull up a poll for you guys, and you're going to text your answer to the poll. Hold on one second. Okay, so for poll number 1, Corinne rode her bike for 2/8 of a mile yesterday, and she rode her bike for 3/4 of a mile today. How many miles did Corinne ride her bike between today and yesterday? So you're going to text 319-373 to this code right here. You would text 319-374 to this code right here if 1 mile is your answer. 312-271 to this code if 3 miles is your answer. And 312-228 to this code if 5 miles is your answer. So everyone go ahead and text your answer. After, of course, you have. And also, oh yeah, I would like everyone to also write their answer down as well. So let me see the progress. So far 73% of you have voted on 1 mile, which is great because 1 mile is actually the correct answer. Good job, class. Okay, so one more poll to demonstrate subtraction since that poll demonstrated addition. If Corinne's bike had a flat tire for the last 3 miles of her 4-mile bike ride, how many miles did she ride her bike before her tire went flat? So I believe we are running out of time, but I could see that 100% of the votes were 1/4 of a mile, and luckily that is correct. So next class session, we will go over how to multiply and divide positive fractions, and I really hope you guys can apply this knowledge and your understanding to concrete situations. Thank you.